Okay.
And I think if we start here, we're live, right?
Yep.
All right, welcome everybody. I believe we finally nailed a name for the podcast, so I'm happy to announce that the title of our podcast is The Joe Rogan Experience. No, that's
I think that
taken.
one might be taken already.
That's taken? Shit. Well, all right then. I guess we'll we'll have to figure it out. I was really banking on that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's neither of our names, and he's a pretty established figure in the MMA community, and I think he has a podcast too, maybe.
He might. He might. I mean, he hosted Fear Factor, so that's definitely a
Oh yeah, he did,
podcast
didn't he?
thing. Yeah.
I
Anyway,
completely forgot about that.
yeah. Anyway, that was my intro. I'm one of your hosts, Elliot, of course.
And I am the other host, Skylar. This is our podcast. It's the only podcast on the internet where you can listen to two or more people discuss various topics over the length of an hour.
That's right. That is what we do here. Two or more people. I like that because if I was thinking about it the other day, like if I wasn't here for you to record an episode, like if I was sick or something, like what you would do, you would just riff for an hour.
Just do a solo
like,
solo
alone.
for an hour.
Yeah, like I guess.
I mean, I could probably talk for an hour.
It's doable, I'm sure, but it would be like, I don't know. I would have to like write an essay or something, and then be like, okay,
I just do some stream of consciousness shit or something. Just talk about whatever comes to mind.
Yeah, I'm. I don't know if I'm good at that yet.
I love the sound of my own voice, so that makes it easier.
See, and I love the sound of your voice, so that makes it easy for me too.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, I guess to kick things off, what have you been doing the past week? What's new?
So this last week kind of sucked for me. My fucking So I figured out that you could like hook up your PlayStation controller to the PC to play. Like I've been playing Psychonauts. I got Game Pass on PC or whatever. But I don't have like an Xbox controller because I don't have an Xbox. So I've been trying to hook up my PlayStation controller to my computer, and it's totally doable. It's easy, like Bluetooth, whatever. It connects. It's super easy. And then I was gonna like download a program that tricks the computer into thinking it's an Xbox controller. And it didn't even work like for that part because like I guess my controller's messed up. Like it doesn't read through USB settings or anything. So I was like, okay, whatever, that's a bust. I went to go plug it back into my PlayStation, and because it doesn't read anything through the USB, it's like, I mean, it doesn't work. So my PlayStation is essentially useless.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it. It's kind of like, it's Microsoft. If you have a Windows PC.
Yeah, I mean
But they're usually really good about letting other third party products work. So it's kind of a weird thing that your controller doesn't work.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
know
mean,
people definitely use PlayStation controllers on PC.
Yeah, like it connected through Bluetooth. Like, because I'll pull it up. I pulled it up on Steam to make sure too. Like, so I can definitely use it for my Steam games and stuff, which I'm already using the Switch Pro controller for. But you can use the PlayStation. It works. It just doesn't like, because it has like the Bluetooth thing and the USB thing. The USB component of it isn't working. So it's not like the computer's not like recognizing it, so I can't like pull it up and look into its file guts and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, that'd make it difficult.
Yeah, I think it has to just be like the micro USB port, and one of its those have like prongs, right? So like the prong that goes to information versus just like power gathering. I don't know if it works like that. That's my theory.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could be any number. It could be a connection issue, but I technically, if it, like if it connects and like it turns on. I mean, when you connect it, it turns on, right?
Yeah.
So that means power is getting to it.
Yeah, like it charges and stuff if I leave it plugged into something.
So that would kind of eliminate like a port issue, I would think.
Huh.
But I don't know.
And it might be my USB cables too. Like I tried a couple of them, but the only ones that like fit the controller that I have are old, like my old phone charger, and I think my old like tablet charger fit it. But they're both, I mean, when I say old, like, 7 years old. uh no, not
Yeah.
7, maybe 5. PlayStation though, my PS4 is at least it's at least 7 years old, I think.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Maybe
Huh.
not. I don't know, but that's been my issue. Is that like I use my PlayStation a lot as my like console, TV console thing. So it had my streaming services with all my accounts signed in that I didn't have to like log in. It was just nice, and now I can't even like I can't access anything because I don't have a backup controller, and I don't have like a PlayStation remote or anything like that. It's it's just fucked. So that's how my week's been. Um,
That sucks.
yeah. What
Yeah,
about
I
you?
really
What
couldn't
about
say
your
what that
weekend?
is. I mean, uh,
Or week,
my week.
rather. I'm sorry.
Uh, well, it's been all right. Nothing new, really. Norm Macdonald passed away. That sucks.
Yeah.
I,
Fucking awful.
I've always been a fan of his humor. I can't say I shouldn't say always. I only like really got into him a few years ago when he got recommended to me on YouTube, and then I binge watched like everything, all his
Nice.
old SNL bits, and he had that show on Netflix too, like Video Podcast Network, I think is what it was called,
Oh.
and he just had a bunch of different celebrities. He's had like Bob Saget and what's his name, David Spade. He did an episode with him, and I mean,
Oh.
it's just classic Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
His jokes are. He just has a very unique comedic voice. It's hard to explain unless you like listen to it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I can't say I was a huge gigantic fan. I only knew, a couple movies that he had done. And then like he played the genie in Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, I
Um
think my favorite quote of his is like, "I'm off to destroy Canada. They've had it too good for too
yeah.
long." Yeah, just a great comedian. Such a
Yeah, for
tragic
real. He
loss. I
was
mean, he had his cancer for 10 years. Didn't even tell his family, or
yeah.
from what I understand,
That's hardcore, man.
like
That's
the
I
only person
mean,
he told was his manager.
I uh can definitely see that point of view.
Yeah, I mean, as a comedian, you want to make people laugh. You don't want to make them sad.
Yeah. Especially and I mean the way that people freak out and even if you try to not make a big deal about it, you're like, man, I have cancer, like don't treat me any different or whatever. Like I just want to live the rest of my life to its fullest that I have, like anybody else. But there's always that pity aspect to it, that
Sure, yeah.
gets
I
tied
mean,
in. Like you can't help but feel sorry for somebody who is like has a terminal illness and like knows that they only have a specific amount of time versus us who we know we only have a certain amount of time, but it's indeterminate. So
yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
it's just
when you
human
know your
nature.
death, it's different than not knowing, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want to be treated with kid gloves for the last, however long I had to live. And,
Oh yeah, especially if you're his, well known as Norm. I mean,
For
he's got
sure.
quite a history.
Yeah.
I like how he got kicked off SNL because he wouldn't stop making OJ Simpson jokes.
Nice.
You know, just stuff like that. You know, it's like he had a filter, but he knew when to. You know, he knew that there was a line that he could cross,
Yeah.
and he was able to dodge around it. You know, masterfully. Just so it kind of hit me hard. I mean, not like super hard, just because I wasn't, a fan of him my whole life. But he made me laugh, and
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing. That seems to be
I
what he wanted,
yeah, I
was just
think
to make
so.
people laugh.
I think that's the important part of being a comedian is just making somebody laugh, you know. You just have to be funny is the end goal, right?
Yeah. I mean, heck, you don't even have to be funny as long as you think it's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You don't even have to be that funny. But he was. Norm was funny. He was a good dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
I highly recommend you go through and look at some of his old bits. And
I'm gonna
yeah, he
have to.
was one of a kind, I think.
Yeah. Man, big RIP.
Yeah. Yeah, rest in peace, Norm.
Yeah.
But, other than that news, hearing that news, just been gaming, doing a lot of gaming. I mean, I finally graduated
Oh yeah.
officially. Yeah, I went and picked up my diploma Thursday, and that was nice.
Mm. Graduated
Well,
from what, clown college?
yeah, yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past year of my life, was learn how to be a clown. I mean, may as well be. IT is kind of the same thing.
Oh shit. You hear that, IT world? You're basically clowns.
I'm sure there are many that would agree. Although I probably haven't earned the right to say that since I haven't worked a real IT job yet.
I bet you're
But
not like technically an IT guy, but I mean you have a certification, right?
I have a full-on diploma.
Full on clown diploma. That is
Yes,
beautiful.
sir. It's great. No bells and whistles, no nothing. I just walked into the financial administration office because I'm
Mm.
pretty sure the college is going to shut down in December.
Oh shit. The whole
Yeah,
college?
yeah.
How?
They took a pretty big hit from COVID. I mean, it's just my theory. I don't know. Just the way the financial aid, or well, she's like financial services. I pretty much had to go through her because I don't know if they fired this. That they had like an administrar or whatever that
Mm.
ran the front desk, and she was usually the one that did all the administration stuff, like handing out honor roll, diploma stuff. But she left like around the same time my initial teacher left, which was like 12 weeks ago. And then so she took over, but she was also doing financial aid stuff. So I've been going through her the past 12 weeks for everything. And she made some kind of offhanded comment like, "I don't know what's gonna happen after December." And I mean the school is just empty. I mean, I don't know if
Jeez.
I know I'd read in the news, the local news, that they weren't taking any more enrollments like last
Wow.
quarter, but I thought it was just due to COVID.
Yeah.
But
As like
I
a,
mean,
like a limit on class sizes or whatever. That would
yeah,
make
yeah.
sense, but
But there wasn't. I don't even think there was like a medical assistant class at all this past quarter.
wow.
And I know when I walked by the HVAC, the heating, ventilation, AC, those guys, I walked past their class and it was like always empty. So I don't
Jeez.
know if we were the only like students left or what. But
Wow.
it's just that they're not the main campus. The main campus is in Joplin, so they're still doing. And the Joplin and Wichita were the two main campuses. I guess I
Oh,
just
I
kind of
see.
doxed where we are. So
Nah. Whatever. I don't care. Come find
I
me.
don't either.
Fight me.
Yeah,
That's a
here's
challenge.
my IP address,
Yeah, let me just here's my license plate number and the
my
make and
driver's
model of my
license,
car.
and my mother's maiden name, the street I grew up on, my first dog's name.
That's right. Um,
But yeah, it's
shit. That's
all done with
crazy. I
that.
thought
So
that I thought that colleges were just constantly flush because they just, charge exorbitant prices and still get a shitload of money from the government, and you know,
I mean, you'd think, but
right? Like maybe they
I really
just
think COVID really did a number because,
mm,
nobody was enrolling and they probably base. I'm sure a lot of their funding is based off enrollment numbers. If I had to
probably.
wager any guess, I mean, I don't know if this is just a theory. They could just be, waiting till after December to restart. But I guess when I find out, I will bring it up. It just seemed odd to me that
Yeah,
the
they're
past 12 weeks that there was basically nobody in the parking lot.
that's
A lot
crazy.
of staff left. I mean, like my teacher included. My initial teacher, I should say, and I liked him way better than my other one.
Oh yeah.
He was yeah.
Which one of your teachers was like a crazy incel dude, right?
Yeah, that was the first guy,
Oh,
Josh.
okay.
He
the
was really
cool the
cool.
cool one.
Yeah, he was
Nice.
super cool. Liked him a lot. Other guy, he was just a bit too corporate, if that makes
Oh.
sense. He's still a good teacher, but he just seemed to, say what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Josh was like, "Yeah, you're not gonna be a network admin right out the gate. You're gonna work help desk."
Yeah, I mean
So at least he was honest about that,
that
and I
seems like
appreciate
an
that a lot.
obvious thing, but yeah, I don't know.
It should be, but the way that they had the program lined up, it was like, "Oh, after you graduate, here are all these jobs that you can." It's like you hear all these jobs you can get into, but then there's an asterisk at the end. And it's like, well, with 2+ years of experience and taking a ass load of certification exams that all
Yep.
cost a lot of money.
Yep. That's so
But
annoying. Man.
it's a good stepping stone, I
Yeah.
guess.
I mean, at least you're like certified in something,
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got like my A+ and MTA. I'm working on Network Plus now.
Nice.
But
I
yeah,
have
that's about it for my week.
I have an A+ in gaming because I'm a master at video games.
Master gamer.
Yeah, I have an A+ network gamer certificate. I can play on networks.
And you're proud of that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you should be.
Thank you.
Your
Yeah.
accomplishments are all valid.
I mean, I spent a lot of time playing video games. You don't know the amount of. I guess you do, but for sake of reference, you don't know the amount of effort that goes into these, thumb workouts on a controller. And then, like, recently I got a mechanical keyboard, so, like, the keys are real hard on my keyboard now. So, like, I'm building up calluses on my WASD hand.
Oh my.
Yeah. I'm,
Not like you're using a controller at all.
I'm like basically jacked. At just from the wrist up to my fingertips, Or I guess, wrist down, depending on how you're holding your hand, right?
Yeah, should probably invest in one of those like ergonomic keyboard holders that are, designed to angle the keyboard in such a way that you don't get carpal tunnel by the time you're 40.
Yeah,
That'd
you're
probably
right.
be
I
a
probably
worthy
should.
investment.
Yeah. But like if you get carpal tunnel, you can get like pain pills, right? As like a prescription.
Yeah, if you count like
Nice.
acetaminophen as a pain pill.
Oh, nice. Get some of that
They don't
hardcore
prescribe them like they
Tylenol
used to,
3,
man.
baby.
Yeah, no, you're not going to get anything harder than Tylenol,
Now,
really.
especially after listening to this podcast, and they're like, "We know what you're doing. We, you're playing all these video games just so you can get an opioid prescription. Come on,
Jesus.
get your life together."
There are probably better ways to go about it.
Yeah, there probably are.
Just throw your back out and say you have chronic pain or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of gaming myself this week too.
Yeah, what you been gaming on recently?
I picked up Yakuza again.
Nice.
I've got a kind of a love-hate relationship with those games. I'm on the second one, Kiwami 2,
Oh.
and it's
Is it a full on remake of 2?
Yes,
Okay.
basically. I think the way that they did the Kiwami remakes was that they went back and they made Zero.
Mm-hmm.
And Zero is like in the timeline it takes place before 1, so it's a prequel story. So they went and redid Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2, and they did it in like their at least 2 they did in like their new engine that they have, the Dragon engine,
Oh.
I think.
Okay.
So they're all in like they're like super updated. I think they came out on PS2, 1 and 2 did.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So they kind of went back and they redid some stuff. They made, some story adjustments or added stuff to the story so that way like you can play Zero and then you can be like, oh wow, that happened, and that happened in Zero. Or it'll be like a callback. There nothing major to like the major plot,
Mm-hmm.
but like some of the side stories will be a callback to Zero,
Yeah, it's
which
one
is
of
pretty
the one of
cool.
those remake things where you could throw in a bunch of side characters that are fun and likable, and then like in the future remake games you can sneak them in there, and then like in the
Yeah.
future standalone titles you can plug them in as main characters.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I think they actually did kind of do that with 7. I think they brought some characters from those games, and I didn't finish. I started playing 7
Uh
before I
huh.
played any of the other ones, and I was like, okay, I should really start
Is
from the beginning.
that was that Like a Dragon? Is that
Yeah,
7?
that's the newest one
Oh,
where it's like an
okay.
RPG, JRPG
Yeah,
style.
that one
Yeah.
looks super good, but
Yeah, it's
you
really
know,
fun, but it was like I had, and it's a new story, so technically you can
yeah,
jump in from that point, but there are so many references to the other games. I was just like,
yeah,
is this a reference or not?
it'd
So
be
I was
like
like, I may
jumping
as well just start from the
into
beginning.
yeah, it'd be like I don't know, maybe it'd be like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and that
Yeah,
it's a
kind of like
standalone
that.
thing, but it's like if you can, I guess I don't know how that one wasn't as heavy with the past stuff. They really tried to make it their own thing. It was like Sonny was a major character that was like if you don't understand why he has a relationship with this little girl, you'd be kind of weirded out. But
Yeah, yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, except I mean, Yakuza, they're all, there's six games before 7, and they're all humongous. I think I spent 80 hours on Yakuza 0,
shit.
then maybe another 40 to 50 on 1. I'm hitting about the 40-hour mark in 2. That's why I say I have a
Man.
love-hate relationship with these games because they're really good, but
Yeah.
there's so much side content. I mean, you could probably like blast through the main story in maybe 10, 15 hours, but you're really handicapping yourself if you do. Um, just because there's like a leveling system and you get different abilities for completing side quests and everything. And
Yeah.
I'm sort of a completionist,
And the side
so
quests are super fun, man. I have Kiwami on PS4. I got up to where you like unlock the slot car racing, and then I just did
oh
that
my
for
gosh,
fucking
yeah,
hours, and then I was like, okay,
yeah,
I need to take a break because this is consuming my life, and then I didn't pick it back up again. So,
that is exactly, yeah. I mean, that's and there are like at least 2 or 3 other mini games in that game that are like that. There's like this whole trading card mini game with these girls
man,
that dress up as like sexy bugs, and
nice.
there's a whole
Oh
sub
yeah,
story with
okay,
that.
that one's awesome.
Um, and plus the fucking Majima, he like chases you around and stuff, and there's a whole arc for that too. I mean that if you complete everything, if you were to do everything, you would be spending probably 80 plus hours on it,
Man.
which I always hit a point in the games where I'm like, it's super close to the end. I know it because they tell you what chapter it is. So I
Mm-hmm.
get to this point and I'm like, I'm just done. I
Yeah.
am done with all this side crap. I just want to finish the
They
story
just
because the
have to
story
march
is
forward.
legitimately very good. I
Yeah.
mean, they're crime dramas,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now with 2. As I reach this point where it's like right, it has to be right before the last bit of the game, and it's like, oh, now you can walk around with your adopted daughter, and you can go do stuff around town. And I was like,
Oh,
oh,
that's
that's cool.
cool.
Okay, I'll do that for a minute. And she was like, I want you to get 300 points in darts.
What?
And like you can like if you do it, you like it like she has a little bar that you can fill up, and like the completion is inside, and he's like, oh my god,
You just
I want to
be
do
is
it.
that like the like good stepdad bar or something?
Yeah, pretty
Or
much. I mean,
adopted
it's
dad bar? Like
yeah, and like she'll ask you to do stuff. She'll be like, "Oh, I want to go to this restaurant and I want to go eat some takoyaki." But then she'll be like, "I want you to beat Virtua Fighter and not take any damage." It's not that crazy, but it'll be like, "I want you to beat Virtua Fighter," and it's actually the whole game of Virtua
oh
Fighter,
my
and it's
god.
very hard. It's very
Man.
difficult. So
Uh,
I kind of said, "Fuck that."
I like that that's the lesson is like the child just demands something and he's like, "Okay, I'm going to do it because yeah, why not?" You know, instead of just being like, "No, that's a ridiculous demand. I'm going to like, sit you in front of a TV and you can watch Dora the Explorer for a while
Yeah,
because there's
essentially. I mean,
there's no
it's like,
way
you
I'm
want me to get a
fucking
perfect score in golf? Are
yeah."
you kidding?
And her
Kidding?
demands will just get, crazier and crazier. She goes on. That's a bad lesson for her to learn, you know. First, you're beating Virtua Fighter without taking any damage, and then, a year later, you're like scaling the Empire State Building without any safety net, and she's just like, don't slip and die, or else you're not going to be my favorite dad anymore. Like,
It's a very slippery slope, that's for sure.
exactly.
But yeah, my point is like they're great games, love them. The stories have all like at least up through the ones I played have all been very compelling, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to complete them. But then at the same time, I also want to do all the side stuff because all the side missions are really good and funny and quirky, and
Mm-hmm.
so they're good
Just really
games.
well
They're very
done.
good games.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad that I discovered them, but it's gonna take me a while to get through them. I've said before that I want to play through all of them this year, but I just don't think that's gonna happen.
Oof. And we're already like 2/3 through the year, right?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah, I
probably
don't.
get two done. I'll probably start three this week, maybe,
Oof,
and then
man.
we'll see.
It would
We'll
be
go from
like
there.
you would 100% focus on these games
Yeah,
for the end
and
of
I
the
mean,
year,
you kind of
and
need to.
it's hardcore.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
good
sure you
games
could
though.
get through a
Highly
couple more
recommended.
though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really looked ahead. I've heard three's kind of a slog because it was like the first one to come out on PS3.
Oh,
So they were kind of it's I mean it's remastered, but it didn't get the Kiwami treatment.
oh yeah,
It's not like a remake, it's just like upscaled graphics and everything. But I've heard 4 onward is pretty good.
nice.
So that's kind of where I'm at with gaming.
That's cool. That's those are on Game Pass, aren't they? Almost.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, nice. I'm gonna have to like I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff on Game Pass that's pretty sweet that I need to dive into as my, since I can't use my subscription services on my PlayStation, I'm just gonna have to use all of my subscription services on my computer.
Does the Switch Pro controller work with Game Pass?
I don't think it does.
Hmm.
I couldn't get it to work,
Yeah,
but
you
I'm
know,
sure there's a similar program that tricks the computer into thinking your Pro controller is a Xbox controller. It's
it
uh,
sounds like they want to integrate multiple controller support.
yeah,
It's just not integrated yet.
that's I as I was looking through you know forums and stuff for fixes. I thought I saw an article or something that said they want to start doing like cuz Steam has it. They're like you just plug a controller in from whatever console
Yeah,
and
it's
it
plug and
just
play.
figures it out. Yeah, it's super cool. Freaking love it. So like obviously, Xbox could do that. So I think they're working on it.
I know there was a commercial that showed a kid playing Game Pass games with a PlayStation controller. So
Nice. Nice.
hopefully, I mean, it'd be they play what you want to play what you want to play with what you want to play.
Yeah. That is one thing I can give Microsoft like massive props for is I've seen in the last couple years that they're like controller development for like handicap and people with like disabilities and shit, like they can make, controllers that are or shit that they can interact with games with,
Yeah,
with
the
whatever their
yeah.
limited mobility and shit like that. Like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they actually won some kind of award for it because
Really.
like nobody's done it before.
Yeah. I think I saw.
Or at least not a. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there are. There's definitely ways for people to do it,
Mhm.
but that
Yeah.
was like specifically designed for people that are mobility impaired, or
Yeah.
they even have like a this thing you can turn on in the settings. It's like a co-op mode where you can use two controllers to control a single player game. So it's like
Oh, that's cool.
like if you're playing with your kid or something and they want to
Uh-huh.
move around, but you can aim and shoot.
That's pretty cool. Okay. I
So,
like that. That's nice. I remember
hmm
seeing there was a video of like a dude in a wheelchair, but he was playing like Gears of War with this like setup that was kind of like the rock band like drum things,
yeah,
It was kind of like that. It had like one thing was like a drum and there was like some button on it and I was like, man, that's pretty cool, honestly.
yeah, they're they're paving the way. They're really flexing their big dick muscles this past year with all these acquisitions.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. How much did they pay to buy Zenimax? I forgot.
A, a lot.
I
I
want to
don't
say
know
it
how
was
much. It
it
was
was
like a
in the
billion or so.
billion,
It was in the
right? The
billions for
billion
sure.
range with a B.
hmm
Man.
Yeah, and that I mean, for Microsoft, that's just a drop in the hat. I mean,
Yeah, it
they
really
are.
is. It's small potatoes, man.
Yeah, it's they're really investing into their first party games. Although have they've been honoring all their contracts with like Sony and stuff like Deathloop. It still has its year-long exclusivity deal, even though it's made by Arcane, who was under the ZeniMax umbrella.
Oh. Oh, that's right. Yeah, cuz they made Dishonored.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dishonored, Prey,
I think they made
Arx Fatalis. That's a
yes.
you
The
huge
shit, what was
throwback.
the one that I bought recently? Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. I think
Yep.
they made that. That's pretty fucking fun, dude. That's a fun game.
Yeah, that was I mean, just the crazy ragdoll physics and
Yeah, just
the
like that
magic system.
first person hack and slash. Uh, yeah, it's great. Some good
They're
stuff.
really good at like immersive sims. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the term for them. Because I mean, Dishonored, it's a stealth sim
Is
that's
it is
pretty
it technically
immersive.
a sim?
I mean, I I'm definitely not
I
educated
get it
enough
would
on
be
this, but
like
it's an
a
immersive simulation of something.
yeah.
I think Prey, their new one, would probably be a better example of an immersive
Oh
sim because it's
yeah.
like it's that one is actually more a spiritual successor to System Shock than BioShock is. At least
Ooh
I think
ooh.
it's really
That's
good.
I think that's on Game Pass too, isn't it?
I believe it is. I would say
Shit.
definitely give that one a shot.
That
That was a
would
good.
that's
That
my
was a good
next
game.
download then after I finish up Psychonauts.
Yeah,
Man,
that was a damn good game. But
it's
yeah,
it's a fun formula loop, at least, Dishonored and I don't know, that first person just crazy fucking violence and stuff. Like I would think that there's a VR version of Dishonored, right? Or is there not?
I don't think so. I mean, it would be a mod, like a fan made mod, if there was.
Mm,
God, that would give you some major motion sickness, though.
yeah, probably, but it would be so fucking awesome. Oh man,
Yeah, I don't deny that. That would be fun as hell.
it would be so
Both of
cool.
those games were so good.
Yeah, I'm working on. I did play through Dishonored 2. I did a Corvo run with High Chaos, and that was pretty sweet. So now I'm doing an Emily run with like I'm trying to do like ghosts, no kills, and all that. I think I got through the first 2 levels. It's a completely different. No, I only got through the first level because I don't remember I haven't decided if I'm gonna take the outsider powers with her or not.
Oh, gonna do like an iron. I
I
think that's what it's called, like
I
an iron
thought
soul
about
or
it.
something
Like,
mode.
yeah, just like all you have is blink, and then just
Whew,
I
man.
don't know. I don't know though if
I don't know.
that's
Some of
like
those later
worth it.
levels, I've relied on time stops so much.
Yeah.
Just for stealth mainly. Because I did my Corvo run was my low chaos ghost mode, which I
Good guy
failed. I
Corvo.
didn't get ghost with Corvo
Yeah.
at all. I just it's hard. It's
Dude,
very hard to
it's
do.
super hard. That fucking the mission in with the crazy inventor dude with his where it like introduces the new robot things.
Oh, is
They can
Clockwork Mansion?
yeah, where they can see front and back and stuff.
Yes.
That first part where they like introduce that mob and it's like okay, kill it. And I had no fucking idea. I spent 10 minutes running around that little cube room just like trying to I don't know, I tried to plant like a mine on him. It took me a long time.
I never found out if those count for kills or not
Yeah.
either. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, and if they count as like being discovered.
Yeah. Well, you definitely count. If you get caught by one, yeah, your ghost runs over.
Okay.
But I don't know about killing them or not. I
Hmm.
never. I think I made it that far on my second playthrough, and I was like, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah. Fucking I wanted to play through the first Dishonored with like, super super well, like do it fully, achievement hunt it or whatever. But when I installed Life is Strange a while back, it overwrote like one of the graphics drivers or something. I don't know. It fucked something up on my computer. So where it made like Dishonored not able to work.
Huh.
Yeah. It was something in a like cuz Life is Strange wouldn't work unless I went in and swapped out something in the graphics driver. And then, I never swapped it back and I
Hmm.
didn't back it up because I'm fucking stupid. So, I don't know if
Always
it'll just
back everything
yeah,
up,
yeah. I
especially if you use a hard drive,
that's what I
hard
get
disk drive.
for not being A plus certified, man. I'm stupid. I don't I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I think that's just good common sense, whether or not you're A plus certified, is to always
Nah.
back it up to the cloud. Or,
Nah, who thinks about that shit, man?
yeah. I mean, not very many
like
people.
good people who care about saving their data, probably. But I don't.
Yeah,
I don't care, man. This life is just data that's just, asking to be overwritten with another save file. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because
I think so.
I don't know what I mean. That was just spewing words out of my mouth.
Isn't that what talking is?
Yeah.
Just spewing guttural sounds from your throat
Just
that somehow we made sense of, or we forced our brains to make sense of.
Yeah. God, can you imagine being like the cave people as they were like developing language, instead of just like and shit like that there where they were like whoa.
Yeah, it'd be like
like
I imagine it would be
dude,
like
what
since
the
they were
fuck?
all
What sound did you just make with your mouth right there? And they're like,
yeah,
whoa,
like,
how did
like
you ask
since they
me
were
that?
all like nomadic, they would each have their own. Like this word means apple, but then if you were to go to like another tribe, they would have a completely different word. I mean, I guess that's what
Yeah,
language is. I
that
mean,
is. It is, but it's so, dude, language is fucking wild. How it's just, developed. And then, like, it's continuously, wow, developing. It's fucking crazy. I wish,
yeah, it's
wish I could see the Rosetta Stone, with everybody's language. carved on it or something. If that was is that what that is?
Yeah, that was supposed to be like the, wasn't it like the supposed to be the universal language or something? I don't know.
Mm.
It's a biblical story, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, is that Tower of Babel, right?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm
It
thinking
was
of.
something like that, where it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like
all the languages were
everybody gets
one.
along, and God's like, I don't like this shit, yo. Fucking you guys, you can't speak the same language. And then there was like a lightning strike, and everybody was like, oh shit, now we speak Chinese instead of Italian, and
And then the
like
Romans tried to do it again,
yeah,
and we know how that turned out.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I love the Romans. They're crazy motherfuckers,
We
man.
got such an interesting history. It's insane to think about that far back. There were just people living life like that, like living the good
Right?
life.
Yeah, just like walking around with like bed sheets tied around them, drinking olive oil and wine, because that was like all that grew around there, and then like just getting shit shipped in because Alexander the Great ran around and was like, hey, this place is mine now, a bunch of years ago. And they're like, okay. And then everybody just, followed it. Like
I
Caesar
mean,
would
they were
show
pretty
up and
close to
just be like,
conquering the
hey,
known world.
we own your shit now.
Yeah, they just spread themselves too thin. That was the problem.
Yeah.
If they had just, instead of expanding, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a history
Well,
buff on this, but it sounds like they expanded way too much and they spread themselves so thin instead of expanding
Mm-hmm.
their infrastructure to those places. Like if they had, expanded the infrastructure there first and then conquered more, then maybe things would be different nowadays and we'd all be like speaking Latin
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. It would probably. It would be a Romance language, if not actual Latin. Like if the Roman Empire was still running around today, it'd be
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, it's kind of like what the Catholic Church is, sort of. They're sort of the remnants of like the Holy Roman Empire, sort of. But it's just the religious part of it and the money.
Oh yes, the money.
Yeah. But like Rome collapsed, I think, because they spent all their money on luxury goods. Like all their gold went to India for pepper, I think was the main thing that they bought. Like they
Oh,
just
like spices.
yeah, like spices and shit. And it was just they were like, hey, we rule the fucking known world, so let's rest on our laurels. And it bankrupted them, and then it burned to the ground, and Nero was fiddling.
Yeah, he was the crazy guy, right?
Yeah, he was a fucking madman. Him and Caligula, I think, was also pretty fucked
Yeah,
up.
Caligula. And his blood orgies.
Yeah, and I think he appointed his horse as like one of the fucking general dudes. He was like a nobleman.
Damn.
Yeah,
Way
it's
ahead of
pretty-
his time.
This is pretty awesome. Like, imagine, like, oh, here's our tax, General fucking Sugar Cube, and he's. This is the horse sitting on, like, a throne, like a Jarl
The
throne.
horse.
And this is back before horses walked around like people. This is way ahead of its time.
They also had more rights than women.
Damn, fuck, you're right. Oof. What a bad time.
Yeah.
You know?
Actually, I think the Roman Empire, or maybe I'm thinking Greek, but women actually they were allowed to like own land and stuff. I don't know if that was Roman or Greek. Sounds more like a Greek thing.
I want to say that was probably more Greek. No, maybe. My memory of this is the movie 300, where the Leonidas's wife was like trying to speak at the council, and they were like, "Nah, you're a chick, you can't do this."
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was even accurate. 300 wasn't a super accurate movie from what
I don't think so.
hear.
I don't think that's a very good measure.
Like
of,
that wasn't a documentary.
I mean, that was like they were definitely playing that up too. I mean, the whole tale was like just a, what do you call it? like making them look better just because they took a huge loss, a big
Yeah.
L,
Yeah, it was like
like propaganda.
yeah, like one of those fuck, I feel like there's a word for it, but it's like a bittersweet kind of thing. Where it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we got, we got our asses kicked by the Persians, but look, we took out, 100 million of them with only 300 dudes. Look how badass we are. And they all had fucking six packs, by the way. And the person listening to the story is like, whoa. Like, and that's the
Yeah,
story of it. That's 300.
that's 300. They were all super ripped, and Leonidas definitely threw his spear and only barely missed Xerxes.
Yeah.
And there was also a weird hunchback dude.
Yeah. The nasty hunchback, dude.
And yeah, that one scene where he's like getting felt up by all the chicks just grossed me out.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
That was so
Oh.
gross. That's a pretty good movie, though. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
it's
was pretty
not
solid.
accurate, but it was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Good bro movie. Just watch with the guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty good. I don't know. Some mindless fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that whatever scary movie-esque version of it was terrible, though.
Oh, was it Meet the Spartans?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember very little of that. I definitely watched the movie, but yeah, I remember.
Talk about a
it's
fall
not
from
good.
grace. I mean, it was the same directors that did, or maybe it was like only one of the directors. It was the same dudes that did all the scary movies, and then it was like, it was well past the time for parody movies to even be relevant.
Yeah, yeah. Like they stopped being funny, 3 or 4 scary movies in, and then it just kept going.
I mean, 1 and 2 were good. The one that parodied, what was it, Signs, with the one with
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to say that's 3 or 4.
3. Those were pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean, relatively speaking, as just schlock.
Those were
but,
good. I thought they were pretty funny.
Yeah.
Not even knowing a lot of source material because I don't watch a lot of scary movies because I'm a little bitch. I mean, but the audience doesn't know. I scare very easily. I don't think I've played one horror game all the way through to completion ever. Yeah.
And I'm the opposite. I love scary games. Although Outlast was a bit much, I'll say. That game just
Was that
terrified
one
me.
super scary?
Outlast, yeah, because I played Outlast 1 and 2, and they're like 8-hour games, but they took me like weeks to finish
Man.
just because they're so scared. Outlast 2, my gosh, that game
Jesus.
was like, at one point you like walk over a bunch of corpses of babies because they sacrifice
Oh.
babies. I mean,
Oh.
it's brutal.
That's
It is
awful.
yeah, it's terrible. I mean, like you think about back in the 90s when they were trying to, they were saying Mortal Kombat was too violent. If that game had came out in the 90s, then video games would probably not exist.
Yeah. Oh,
Because that
man.
one, it takes it above and beyond.
There would be riots.
Yeah,
That's insane.
and like Night Trap, that game, they were trying to get that one banned, and I was just campy, stupid humor.
Man.
No, try a ritualistic sacrifice.
Ugh.
And
Ugh.
yeah. There's this one part where you're like in a cornfield, and I hated that part. That was
Ooh.
awful.
Ugh,
Really well done, but
Yeah.
because they're really good stealth games. I think horror lends itself very well to the stealth genre,
Mm.
unless you're doing like Resident Evil style stuff with survival horror.
Yeah. And those
But-
games freak me the fuck out too, man. Those were the cause of my original when I was young lad. I had a deep-seated fear of zombies and like the zombie apocalypse, like all my nightmares. Anytime I would have a nightmare, it would be a zombie apocalypse nightmare because of Resident Evil. So it took me a long time, an embarrassingly long time to get over that fear. And I still haven't played the Resident Evil games all the way through.
They got like I think after 3, like 4 was definitely more action than it was horror.
Yeah.
In 5, Chris Redfield punches a boulder until it breaks. So they definitely got away from they're still kind of scary in some parts, but it was definitely more action focused.
Yeah.
Which is why I appreciate the remake. I haven't played RE3 remake yet, but 2, man, that game in some parts was just hard to get through because it was so tense.
Yeah. God, I bet, dude. That was the game that when I watched my stepdad play it on the PS1 for that, for a short amount of time, and then it was like, well, zombie nightmares for the rest of your life now. It was Resident Evil 2. So that terrifies me to. I'm gonna have to play it eventually. I really want to, but I'm just a little bitch.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it kind of sets the standard for what a remake of a game should be.
Yeah.
Like, if they were ever to do a Metal Gear Solid remake, it should
Ooh.
definitely be like that.
Yeah.
And just
If they were
completely.
to sell the franchise to Capcom, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I'd be
that
okay
would be.
with
I
that.
don't think that's gonna happen, but
Yeah, no, definitely not.
I know in that what was it, like Nvidia Now, some kind of their streaming service. I think it was MGS2 and 3 was in that list of like remakes.
Oh.
There was like a big humongous leak from
Wow.
it's like what I think what Nvidia is going to do for their streaming service, or maybe it was like their testing environment or something, but something from it leaked, and there was
Huh.
a lot of stuff in there. I'll send you a link to it after the podcast because it's pretty crazy
Nice.
if I can find it.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel I'm conflicted as a Kojima fanboy to not give Konami any business, but as a Metal
Yeah.
Gear fan, separate from Kojima, that would be exciting. I would play them, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get the guy that wrote 2,
Yeah.
because it wasn't just Kojima on 2, it was some other guy, I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, he had a whole team of people to reel in his creative genius.
Yeah, his fucking creative madness, bro.
Yeah.
Death Stranding on my PS4 that I can't play. I finished it a long while ago. Fucking fantastic. I really enjoyed it, but it is like it it's a Kojima game for sure. Like if you have played any of his other games, like kind of his style of storytelling, and it's fucking chaotic, and you're going through the game 98% through, and you're still like, okay, I understand a good chunk of this, but I still don't know what the fuck is going on. And then by the end, it's like, oh, and then you have to sit there and mull it over for a couple days in silence to to just process everything that happened. And even then, I'm still confused. I've been trying to go back and play it more just because it's also really fun, but
I know it was very divisive.
Yeah.
I haven't played it myself, but it was very divisive.
And I can see that. I can see where people probably didn't enjoy it, I'm not gonna be that guy that's like, oh, it's real deep and you have to be super smart to understand it, but like it takes some effort in, I don't know, piecing together a lot of the information and the story elements and being like, okay, this is what these characters did, and it was like in the context of it, why did they do that? And you have to piece some of it together yourself, It's not gonna like wrap up at the end of the credits and be like, hey, by the way, you should love other people, or something like that. Like, I don't know. That's my take kind of on it. We'll have to have a full Death Stranding special where we talk about it after you play through it, because
Yeah, I'll have to play it.
yeah, it's real good. I really enjoyed it. So
I'm sure I would too. Just I don't have a PlayStation or a computer that can handle it.
yeah,
But I mean, that might be a good thing because I'll get to play the remake or the whatever his
Yeah, there's
director's
a
cut
director's
version.
cut coming out, I think. And I'm like, man, I should have just fucking waited for that. But no. I
I
only
mean,
played it like two
I
or
guess
three
I mean
years
he did
late,
do like
so.
subsistence and substance and stuff. So I guess it was kind of
Yeah,
you can kind of tell he wanted to do that.
yeah.
I heard he wanted to make another game that I forget what the quote was, but he wanted to make it like kind of like Death Stranding, where it's a collaborative effort, but with multiple people. And from what I understand, it's like if somebody builds a bridge, you can see it in your world
Yeah. Yeah,
or
Death
something
Stranding
like
does
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where like the
I think
online
he wanted to make
component.
it persistent. He wanted to make it a persistent game. Was
Oh.
the quote?
Huh.
Which I don't know
Kind
what
of
that means, but
kind of like it would be like an MMO server, and then whatever happens on that server stays is like a permanent change
yeah,
on it
like
or
maybe if you
something.
like you don't play it for a week and then you come back and time is still moved
Yeah.
without you playing it.
Yeah, kind of like sort of like what Animal Crossing does in that it's like real time.
Yeah, at
I
least
could
that's what I think.
I could see that, I guess. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know, maybe. It's exciting.
Yeah, he's a good director,
Yeah,
good
I
game dev.
I am full on. I'm a fanboy. I'll say that.
Yeah,
I am biased. I
I've
I
enjoyed
like
all
what
his
he
games.
makes.
I mean that I've played. I haven't played like Police Knots or anything like that, but
Yeah.
all the MGS games I've played through multiple times, except for
Mhm.
five. But I put a lot of time into that, so
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. That was a good one though. I
Yeah, yeah, pretty good. I mean, it was an amazing stealth game.
Oh yeah, the
I don't think
fucking
anything has come
gameplay.
close to it.
Yeah, the gameplay was fantastic. I mean, that's like S tier, super fun gameplay, action gameplay. The story fell flat, I feel, compared to the other ones, but it was.
I do too. I
Yeah.
mean, even if you listen to all the tapes
Yeah, it was just
and
kind of.
replacing David Hayter,
Yeah, unfortunately.
I get why he did it, and it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does make
In the
sense.
context of the story, why. But it kind of just sounds like he snubbed him in the end.
Yeah, for real.
Because it was like they started production on it, and people on Twitter were like, "Oh, are you part of this?" And he was like, "I haven't heard from him at all,
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
at least from what I understand."
Yeah, and after years of working on his games and stuff, and it's just they kind of did that shit with Matthew Lillard in Scooby Doo. In this
Oh
last
yeah,
Scooby Doo movie that came out, I think they made Will Forte the voice of it. It
yeah,
was okay, but it was like, Matthew Lillard had been doing it since like he took over from Casey Kasem. Like he was doing all the animated voices and like fucking everything for it. And then they, made a movie and didn't even fucking like contact him about it. So it's super lame.
guess that's the way the business works, though.
Yeah. That's why I'm not a famous actor, because I couldn't handle that.
Yeah, that was
That's the only reason I'm not a famous actor.
the only reason. Yeah. Well, we're about to hit the hour mark here, so
Yeah, I
it's
am.
time
My
to wrap it
bladder
up.
is full to bursting, man.
Yeah, man, I didn't realize what kind of toll talking for an hour takes.
Yeah,
when
for
you're
real.
just talking.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll end it off with this week's hot take.
Yes, you actually have the hot take this week. Is that right?
I do, and I came up with it like an hour before the show.
Nice.
Okay, hot take. You can't complain about women getting pumpkin spice lattes in the fall if you get seasonal beers.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that hurt. Okay, like a legitimate attack on me. I just bought some pumpkin ale at the store today. Oof.
And I'm pretty sure it came up in last week's hot take when we were talking about fall and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it did. I said I prefer winter over fall, and that fall is overrated. And yes, I bought some fucking pumpkin beer, some seasonal beer, because I'm a hypocrite. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit.
I had to. I had to. It's just just
Oof,
thinking about like because that's what
man.
everybody does. Everyone criticizes. They're like, oh well, they're all these women are gonna go to Starbucks and get their pumpkin spice lattes, but it's okay for
Oof.
me to go buy some pumpkin ale.
You're right. You're right. Fuck. I'm a fucking piece of shit. Man.
That really wasn't meant to be a legitimate attack on you. It was just something I thought about like when you bought that. I was like,
But I like pumpkin spice lattes. I didn't complain about that part of it. Fuck autumn in general, but like pumpkin, I like some pumpkin. I
oh yeah, I'm not dissing it. I mean, I like it too.
That's me rationalizing being caught up in being a hypocrite. I'm all flustered now. Damn, that was a good one.
Yeah, this is that kind of podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find something spiteful to talk about next week.
I look forward to it. Well, anyway, I think we should end it here.
Yeah. All right, take it easy, folks.
Yep. You all have a good week.
Yes,
We
and
should hopefully
enjoy.
be back next week.
Yes, we'll be back every week, whether you like it or not. So